And welcome to the WO Radio Show. As always, I'm here with my friend and crime partner, the Commander,
Hey, everybody.
Allen Reed. I'm Richie Redneck Pimp King. Today, we're going to continue the conversation that we started on the Roy Anthony Show this morning. Had good numbers, a great piece of information. And Allen's going to get involved in it now and use his aspect of what he learned and what's going on. And and he's kind of got a background in some of this. So his opinion is very highly to us. So we want him on here. So without any further ado, let me bring on to you a good friend of mine. He's the host of the Roy Anthony Show. He's a very funny comedian. Him and I have been on several comedy shows together, and we don't always agree, but we know how to communicate properly. We're not blowing each other's stuff up, and he's a real good friend of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show again, Mr. Roy Anthony.
What it do? What it do? What it do? Hey, what's up, Redneck? What's up there, Mr. Commander?
Oh, man, it's great to be back with you again on the show, man. Glad you're here.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. It's always an honor.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah. So earlier, Roy, on your show, you started off and you come out swinging, man, and that was some good material by you earlier. We were talking about the American justice system, and the lack of sometimes, depending on who you ask. And we're going to go over a couple cases today. Normally we start out a little different, but we're going to skip our normal formalities today because Roy's only got about an hour with us. So I want to get his opinion on the majority of information that we're going to cover today. So we're going to get after it. Again, Roy, thank you for showing up, brother. We appreciate it so much.
Oh, I mean, earlier, much love, always.
He put a governor. One of his pieces earlier was about a governor in Louisiana.
Okay.
Who set on some information. The governor set on some information who could have freed an individual. Mm-hmm. He also put some information about a sheriff in Kansas City, Kansas, who was raping women and trading for favors for sex, and a plethora of other things going on there, and hard-hitting information. And we covered that, and we've got no solution so far for any of this. What we're going to do, okay? Yeah, we're just two individuals here. So glad you can come in on this, and you got a background. But you got some information that I want to go over, and I got a case that we're going to go over also. Those of you familiar with in the area, the Kevin Strickland case, and I think you're familiar with Kevin Strickland.
Yeah. He was
here. He was here. Yeah, he was
in Cameron.
Yeah, he was locked up here in Cameron. And so real quick, I'll let you get on yours because you did a lot of great research.
Well,
so if you don't mind, if you take it, please.
I did, but I don't have the password to get into our internet here at the old school, and Denise hasn't contacted me back yet with it, so I can get on there to get to the information I got.
All right, well, we'll just go ahead and go with Kevin Strickland. And Kevin Strickland, for those of you who don't know, he was sentenced to 40 years in prison for killing 3 people. Okay, he was wrongfully convicted. All right. They said they had information 10 years before they let him out. They couldn't let him out 10 years previous, and they didn't. Right. They had the information. The eyewitness come forward and said she wasn't sure if it was him at all. In fact, she was 90% sure it wasn't him at all. He wasn't even, and come to find out, he wasn't even there. So that's the information that the prosecutor had. He wasn't even there. Okay.
Gotcha.
So is it one of them all black people look alike type of thing? I mean, what's her excuse?
Well, it don't sound to me like there's much of an excuse there at all.
No. And Roy, before I go anything else about Kevin Strickland, I want to get you in on a comment from what you know so far. 40 years, killing 3 men, and didn't do it, wasn't even there.
Well, see, that's the thing. They knew, okay, if you know I'm not there, that's the main thing. You had to be there to even be close around the crime. If I'm saying I'm not there and you're telling me, so you said earlier that a person can run past a window and they got on a blue hoodie sweater, but the person who seen them was identified as being a black sweater. Right. Not saying that's the irony because we're blacks, whatever. I'm just saying is.
Right.
Sometimes some of these scenarios is personal vendettas with the prosecutor and them. I'm gonna give you an instance. I was I had to go to LA County because I had some traffic tickets. So I told the judge, he was like, either you're gonna pay $2,500 for these 2 tickets, or you can pull 3 to 4 days in jail. So when I get there, this public defender is telling me that she's representing me for a different case. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, it was something about I got a ticket and signed, but somebody signed my name. So the judge had me to sign my name 5 times to show it wasn't me. The lady said, oh, well, happy merry early Christmas. So I said, you mean early? Now I'm already agitated. I've been in there 2 days for something I don't think I should be in. It's about some tickets. So I cussed the lady out. Like, F you, you know. Well, guess what? I seen her do a nod to one of the cigars or whatever. I was in there additional 5 days. Now, why I'm saying that, even though it's minimum, just think how many people has probably got under the wrong prosecutor's eyes or the wrong police officer's eyes. And they say, you know what? They look at your background and say, well, we're going to lock them up. And then you said for 10 years, they know that he's innocent, but still won't pull him out. You know why? Because each inmate is paid so much money by the state. The state has to pay the institution for housing and everything. They have to pay them so much amount of money. I've seen people get parole, but the state keeps them in there for some length of time because they're trying to make their quota. Right. Now we're putting material things once again over human life.
Yeah, economics. It's an economic game that they're playing.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? That's all it boils down to. And it all boils down to this: money talks, bullshit walks. You know what I'm saying? So if you got the money where you can get your own private attorney, you got a chance of beating your rap. But if you are hung up with a public defender, guess who pays the public defender? The state. They work for the state. They work out of the prosecutor's office because that's who the prosecutor works for, is the state. So if you're poor, you're a minority.
Yes, sir.
You don't stand a chance. You've had it. That's it. And good luck to you trying to prove your innocence, because in this country anymore, and I hate to say it, but it's the truth, you're guilty and you got to prove you're innocent. It's not innocent until proven guilty. You're guilty. Now you got to prove that you're not guilty. And it's just totally backwards. It's wrong.
And it's the same way when it comes to the division of child services as well. There's a thing they use, they like to say preponderance of the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I got kind of the same situation as that. I had a problem with one of my kids.
Right.
Okay. But it wasn't what they said it was. My in-laws got involved in it, and they got ass whipped. they got involved in it. The law, I didn't know about it. 10 years later, I go to get my grandkids, and they say we can't give them to you because we got preponderance of evidence. I said, what the hell are you using preponderance of evidence for? Yeah. Well, kind of find out some more paperwork that the court threw out and said no, he's not guilty. I never was ever prosecuted for any crime at all, but because they didn't like the fact that I was Native American. They didn't like the fact I was a cage fighter.
Yeah.
Didn't like that at all. They hated that. I was aggressive. Okay. I was a linebacker in football. These are some of the comments you see on their notes that that was made to me. You know, I was an MMA fighter. They didn't like that at all. Okay. And I'm a Marine. They didn't like the Marine thing at all. You know, and I talk ethnic. I mean, I'll tell them I kiss my ass.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And so that's the type of crap. They said, well, he's got to be guilty. 10 years later, I had to jump through more hoops and finally figured out. I said, oh, no, he wasn't guilty. Why didn't they take the paperwork out?
Yeah.
You know, why'd they have to wait 10 years? And it caused me much more headache and wonder why I cuss them out, you know? So
but see,
it's like that all over, man.
It's funny you said that, because what they did now is called itself creating a profile about you, even though you're innocent.
Yeah, exactly.
Just make this profile. And Commander, you said something that is absolutely true about the you're supposed to be innocent proven guilty. In Los Angeles, say for instance, I don't care what type of case you get. All right, I had a woman in my house. I've never had no case, domestic or nothing like that. But she came in my house and wanted attention with me. And I'm about to leave. I'm like, hey, you have to go. So she made an uproar, right? So the police had to come. But this is the tricky part. So the police said, well, we're going to take you downtown. Told me, they didn't know it's my apartment, everything. We're going to take you downtown. And they put domestic violence. No, not domestic violence. I'll take that back.
Domestic disturbance.
They said something assault, like-minded assault, or whatever. And I'm like, like-minded assault? I don't know what this is. So when it goes to court, prelims and all that, the judge is talking about throwing it out. So let's have court in 30 more days. This is what they tell me. I'm going through an assessment through my company. When my company gives, I had to go fingerprints and everything for my company because I had to work on schools. Guess what it showed on my paper? Pending assault. That's what it said.
Pending assault.
It said pending assault. I ain't been no court for it. I ain't found guilty. That was the rest, but it automatically went on. Well, I found out so many other guys was going through this. There's one guy just got a job. The job contacted him and said, hey, you got a pending case on you. So they didn't bring him in. They didn't hire him on the job because they was like, okay, why would they put it on your record if it's not true? But the pending is escape, is escape, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm a pending robber. Oh, I was in the vicinity, but I wasn't part, so I'm supposed to be found innocent. But it says pending. So you tell the company's looking at your background and say, hey, here, you got a pending robbery on you. You ain't been through the court process. You've already been found guilty in the eyes of those who filed your paperwork.
Right.
That's right.
And then what that then causes, it causes you to be guilty in the court of public opinion.
Yes.
Okay. Even though people find not guilty, let's say they accuse Roy of robbery.
Okay.
They let him out. We're sorry, blah, 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 check, whatever. They pay him off. You still got a certain amount of people think, I don't trust Roy Anthony. All of a sudden now Roy Anthony's name, all of a sudden his name, is tarnished over shit that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
There's no check big enough to fix it. You can't make somebody like you anymore.
The whole thing is they're building a paper trail on everybody, like what you went through. They're building a paper trail. Okay. And the reason they do that is they are getting you stereotyped into their system so that if something happens, they'll just come up to your door and say, well, we had this person assaulted just about 6 blocks from your house, so we're taking you in for questioning because you got assault here on this. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they stereotype everybody and catalog you, and then they got an excuse just to come in and yank you out of your home at any point in time just because something happened. You could have been out of state when it happened, but then they're going to take you in, and then there's something else that's wrote down there on you, and so there you go. Right. And then you get into this vicious cycle, and it's like you say, when they get their claws in you, you can't hardly get them claws out.
I got to say, and I told my kids long ago, my boys, I said, once you're in the system, you can't get out of it.
That's it. You're hung
I know.
Hey,
I'm in the system. I can't get out of the system. No matter what I do, I'm a bad guy.
I'm gonna quote what this rapper said, Jail Felon. He says it's easy to get in, but it's hard as hell to get out.
Yes, it is.
Here's a slippery slope. I've run across several people who got child molestation or not child sexual deviant charges on them, and all they did was moon somebody. Out drunk, having a good time, and bang, moon somebody. Now I don't want to see your nasty ass, but I don't want to see you spend the rest of your life as a sex offender on a sex register for that. However, if you're out there showing a bunch of kids and a bunch of girls, then you're an idiot.
Yeah,
you're an idiot. Yeah. So, what do we do?
Yeah,
what do we do?
Exactly.
All right, back up here to Kevin now. So he fought this deal, and of course, he had people get involved with it. Now, the governor of Missouri could have overturned this, but he wanted to wait because Missouri was passing a law that would allow and make prosecuting attorneys go back and take a look at another case, and if he wasn't guilty, then they could make a decision. Hey, give him another court hearing and go from there. And that's that's ultimately what ended up happening. Okay, so I think I'm kind of on the fence about the governor. I think the governor should have acted quicker, but he did do it right because he wanted it to be right, and he wanted the guy to be free because the law said he was free. That way they can't come back and say, well, you know what, there was a miscarriage or something happened. We're going to put you back in and retry it. Nope, he's out now. Okay, and that's the good part about Missouri. The bad part about the Missouri law is he got no money.
Yeah,
the only money he got 1.6 million from donors who donated money for his legal fund, for his wheelchair fund, okay, things like that. Because in the state of Missouri, you can't get a check unless DNA exonerates you. Okay, a witness put him in, but a witness can't get him paid.
Right, exactly.
For on that.
But see, look here, they don't need DNA to find that he wasn't there in the first place. All the stuff that
there won't be no DNA.
The police,
because he's not there.
The police officer arrested, the prosecutor arrested. If the city can't pay, then it comes out of your pension. Because me, myself, if I'm in there, even I don't care if I was in there 1 or 2 years, I need $1 for every second. Because when you're sitting in that cell, every second is counting.
That's right.
Right. And it's what it should be. What it should be. I think they ought to do something if prosecuting attorney or detective or someone knowingly puts you in there, that's putting your life in danger, they should go to prison.
Yeah. It was like Denise hasn't messaged me back on Messenger with the passwords. I wish I'd have brought my tablet with me because I had some of this stuff wrote down, but I thought, instead of writing all this down, I'll just use my tablet. But you see how that worked. Okay. Sucks to be me today. But I don't remember the man's name. I do know that it was in Indiana, and he was charged with rape and double murder. Okay. And pulled 17 years in prison, and then was exonerated because they found out through DNA that it wasn't him, it was the other person that the detectives were looking at, but for some reason they pegged him for it and didn't bother the other guy. And he pulled 17 years of his life that he can't get back because they ran with him instead of going after the one that they should have been going after.
It's crazy. Question. It's then if the person that they caught, when they found out that this guy is guilty, not this guy, the guy innocent did 17 years. Now, what happens with the guy that they found? Do they retry him now and get an additional 17 years, or they say, "Oh well, somebody served time, it's over"?
No. He'll get it, and he'll have to go and gets convicted. Then he'll do his time.
Yeah,
But this guy here, that just means the one that actually did the crime has been able to run the streets and have a life and whatever for 17 years, while this other guy, innocent, this schmuck is locked up for 17 years.
Yeah.
And he's yelling, I didn't do it. And they just turn a deaf ear and a blind eye, and there he sits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kevin Strickland is now confined to a wheelchair because of poor health care, obviously, that they have.
Yeah.
And he shouldn't have been there, so he shouldn't have needed the poor health care. So what he's doing, he's suing. He's suing for poor health care. He's suing. While incarcerated, Strickland suffered 2 heart attacks that affected his overall health. As a result, he now suffers from spinal stenosis, according to CBS, and has to use a wheelchair because he's unable to stand for long periods of time. I looked this stenosis up. It's got a 50% recovery rate.
That's what I had in my neck. Spinal stenosis.
How would you like to have a 50% chance of something you didn't do to walk again?
Yeah.
And you can't get a check for it.
Can't get a check for it at all. Nothing.
That's a stupid ass.
That's just wrong.
It is wrong. So
the Dean know that the man wasn't charged twice. Dean just wrote in double indemnity, but it was a different guy, Dean. You see what I'm talking about, Redneck?
Oh, yeah.
Dean said they can't retry him because of double jeopardy.
Double
It's one
Jeopardy.
of
Yeah.
them, but
Oh,
it
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
the same guy. It was a different guy.
Different
guy. Yeah.
See, what you just said, man, we talking about the man's physical. What about the mental?
Oh, mental
Does
is
anybody ever picture, if you know you're innocent? Okay, look, I was 14 years old. My brother sat on around the Christmas apple and poked 100 holes in the Christmas apple.
Mm-hmm.
My mother did us one. I'm pretty sure everybody been through this with the parents, where it's me and my brother, and she asking us who did it. Everyone, I don't know. He doesn't know. My mother said, "You know what? I know who did it. Roy, get out them clothes." So I'm like, wait a minute. The motive don't even fit me. I'm outside all the time. It's a person inside with no, you know what I'm saying? And she whooped me. And that seemed to me the hardest whooping for me to take, because I was like, and I made my mind, it's my last whooping, but I was innocent. 6 months later, I was talking with my brother and he was laughing. And I walked past his room and said, "Hey, what you laughing about?" He said, "You remember that whooping you got? I'm the one who did that apple." I'm going to tell you something. When I tell my mother, we all three together, my mother says, "Dave, why didn't you tell me the truth? Boy," he like, "You said you knew us better than we know ourselves." It was a big joke with them. But to me, I didn't feel no honorification. I didn't feel honorated from it. I can't lift them licks of that butt whooping off of me.
Yeah.
Right.
How do you tell somebody who's been sitting there in their health and everything? What about their mental state? Because sometimes good thinking helps you to have good health.
Right.
It absolutely does. You know, and being veterans, we deal with this all the time.
Yeah.
Someone that's got poor mental health, what's one thing they don't do? They don't shower. They don't want to take care of themselves.
Everything starts to go downhill.
Right.
You don't trust, you get paranoid,
and these guys,
you name it.
And a lot of these guys are perfectly capable of walking. This man can't even hardly walk. So your mental health, and here's a stigma about mental health. A lot of men don't want to admit that they need help. A lot of women don't understand that, we can bench press all that weight and we can fight and fix cars and do everything, shoot, hunt, all that manly stuff. But sometimes somebody just walk up and say, "Hey man, how you doing? What's up, brother? Let's do. You want to go fishing?
Yeah.
You want to do something." People don't understand that. Well, you're a Marine. You've seen a lot of things. Yeah. Yeah. Is that a good thing? I mean, what do you ever tell me? That's a good thing,
Yeah.
So that's what you tell them. Such a stigma. But this man, 40 years. None of us have been in combat for 40 years.
No.
This is 40 years of a gentleman who never. First of all, let's get a shout out to him. First of all, he never lost hope.
Yeah.
He could have offed himself in there. And later on, we found out he wasn't guilty. And a lot of people, "Oh man, that's judgy." But he didn't. I don't know. It doesn't say on here if he's a man of faith. And if he was, great. If he wasn't, that's okay.
Well, man, it's irritating to hear that. This man went through it because of some other human beings.
That's exactly right. Yes.
I mean, look, what's to humanity, especially of a person who knows you got the evidence and that this man is innocent? They knew from day one. It's more to that they didn't like this guy. Someone had a vendetta, because here it is, 10 years, this man you got the evidence he's free. You should be running. Hey, he's free. It seemed like everybody like, okay, yeah, he's free. 10 years go by, you going home to your family and everything, enjoying all the holidays, while this man is sitting up here, health deteriorating on him, and you got the right thing. So who do I trust?
Yeah, you see, here's the write up on him. He was actually in for 43 years. Okay, don't want to cheat him out 3 years. Senior Judge James Welch filed his ruling Tuesday morning to set aside the conviction of 62-year-old Kevin Strickland. Stop right there. He's 62 years old. His life, as far as having kids,
he was a teenager. 62.
Gone.
You've been in there 43.
Yeah.
63 minus 40. 62 minus 43 means he was a teenager.
That's right. Exactly what that means. He was 62 years old who served 43 years at the Western Missouri Correctional Center in Cameron, Missouri, after what was convicted of 1 count of capital murder and 2 counts of second-degree murder and a triple homicide they never committed.
Out of all them murders, and you still can't find the one innocent man. Yeah. Come on, man. You know what?
The incompetence.
Oh yeah,
you ever seen a movie with Ice-T and they hunting him? You ever seen that? He thought that he thought he got with some employers and he thinking that his life's gonna change because he was homeless on the streets of LA. So they hire him, bring him to this camping trip to find out that he is the prey.
Oh, okay.
You've never seen that? They treated
I hadn't seen it. I'd heard about it, but I hadn't seen it.
Yeah, he treated them all nice to be like, hey, the biggest thing that I keep dealing with is the humanity.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
go ahead.
I feel like, people can say what they want, like on January the 6th. Some people lost their lives. I thought that everybody who crosses over that body of a security guard that's laying on the ground should be held accessory to murder.
Mm-hmm. Somebody needs to be held accountable.
We got murders here. We got people, loved ones. No one's affected if it's not your family member. The guard is working. Commander, you was a police officer. You called to do a special thing at the Capitol, and here's one of your comrades who's fallen, who's on the ground, getting trampled over, and now all of a sudden, we're gonna press charges of them soliciting to a government building. We got some lives here lost. We got people in prison. Dean just said it. His life is over. You in there 43
Yeah, it's over.
years?
Yeah, he was 9. He would have been what, 19?
18, 19, yeah.
Almost 19 when he was,
depending on when he was
locked up. Yeah,
he's been out a couple months.
Yeah, about 2 or 3 months.
Maybe Christmas. He might have been out for Christmas.
And they don't want. Right. You said Missouri don't want to pay him.
Well, hang on. Now I'm gonna tell you why that is. Okay. Why is there no compensation for Kevin Strickland? Kevin Strickland was released from prison Tuesday after spending 43 years incarcerated for a crime he did not commit. Strickland was exonerated without DNA evidence. I'll read that to you again. Exonerated without DNA evidence, which means it disqualifies him from compensation from the state under Missouri law. So, yes, he didn't do it, but because of the eyewitness who told the truth, okay, he can't get a check because it has to be DNA who put him in. It has to be DNA who get him out.
See,
okay,
this is where somebody seems like
thing.
You seem like, you know what? Okay. If you're telling me,
look at him. His family, his family's the same way you are right now. What do you say? You're searching for the word.
Do I strap a bomb on myself and say, you know what? You know, took my life. What's the point of living anymore? And I'm gonna take y'all out with me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna take out 33 people.
I want to think like that. Since a kid, I've been watching Charles Bronson movies since I was a kid. He was always on that revenge tip.
You wouldn't do that, and you wouldn't do that, Roy, and neither would Kevin Strickland. Obviously, he's not a killer.
Yeah.
So, but it's sad. So,
it is.
But he got 1.6 from a GoFundMe account and some other donations that people helped him out. 1.6 for 43 years. That's not enough, gentlemen.
No, not near enough.
The average human being, according to right now, the average human being makes what, $42,000 a year.
Yeah.
Does that sound correct?
Well, I know. I just heard they just told me 65,000 a year is the average.
Well, depending on where you live. Here in Missouri, it's not. So if you let's say you just take $40,000 and times that by 43 years.
Yeah.
And tell me how far that $1.6 million is going to go. And the fact that it ain't just 1.6. The man can't hardly walk.
No.
His heart, one incident is he's having a heart attack and he's dead on the ground, all because of misidentification.
And you know they won't use they can say because 40 years ago we didn't have cell phones, because now you can bing a cell phone and you'll know if you was in that area or not.
Sure.
Matter of fact, they're using it to catch criminals. Yeah, they're using it to catch criminals now. If somebody did a murder, they're gonna bing the location and they're gonna question 20. If 20 different phones pop up in that time, they're gonna go question that.
Yep. I was reading this one here about a young man by the name of Jonathan Barr, was one of the Dixmoor Five who was wrongfully convicted of a 1991 rape and murder. He was 14 years old at the time, and he ultimately spent over 18 years in prison before he was exonerated, and they found out that he wasn't even part of them and had nothing to do with it. 14 years old.
What was his name?
Jonathan Barr, one of the Dixmoor Five, who was wrongly convicted in the 1991 rape and murder charge.
There's been a few like that. It's not, I mean, there's a few. They had the New York ones, them young teenagers. But guess me, Emmett Till was murdered and everything, supposed to be whistling at a woman. Well, the lady is alive. She's like 70, some 80 years old, and she's been telling them for the past 10 years that she lied. She knows who killed the person. She knows who did it. Now, this is a person who did white with murder, and they know she did. Look at the governor of Louisiana. He knew that these police officers murdered this young man 2 years ago. He did not say anything, but he wouldn't say nothing today if it hadn't been discovered. And the police let him know. We let the governor know. If it had not came up, Richie been teaching me since I've been around them that the governor is the person we look to. The president really don't carry the weight. It's the governor of the state. If the governor is suppressing evidence, this guy, look, the governor said, we ain't paying you neither.
We ain't paying you nothing. You're out in the cold.
Yeah. I mean,
NWA said it's ruthless. They looked at us like we're animals when NWA say ruthless. This man just told this man, we gave you 40 years and we ain't give you nothing.
Nothing.
Shut up.
It's cases like this Daryl Cannon that just really boils my blood, and it just
hold on a second.
Okay.
Hold on a second. I want to read this here real quick.
Okay.
Jonathan Barr and his whole crew, after serving a total of 95 years behind bars, all five, Barr, James Harden, Shiny Sharp, Robert Taylor, and Robert Veal, were exonerated in 2011 after a DNA profile of the semen recovered from the victim was ran through FBI, National Combined DNA Index Systems, CODIS, right?
Yeah.
And the source was identified as Willie.
You know why that's so funny? DNA testing started in 1946 when our American hospitals keep the placenta and your umbilical cord. Man, look, he's not a threat at 62. They knew this man was innocent back when he was a teen. He's not a threat. Now, since he's 62, when they keep these guys in there 20, 30 years, look what age they are. They ain't gonna be running the streets.
No,
that's why they do that. That's why they do that.
Yeah, exactly. It's this case here of Daryl Cannon.
Go ahead.
He served 19 years after he was, and this just really boils my blood, after he was tortured into a confession to a quadruple murder by Burgess detectives who used electric shock, bagging, suffocation, and other brutality at the hands of the police. And they got a photograph of him sitting in the interrogation chair. I mean, come on.
But you know what, Commander? My mother told us, if anything, you're gonna die for the truth. That man just wasn't ready to die for the truth. If you're gonna lie and put your life in more jeopardy, if you know you didn't do it, you letting another murder run out there who's still
That's right.
You know, for longest time, and Roy and I have had, we've talked about this many times. For 30 some years, I've been preaching the justice system in this country is no good. Down around here, there's not a whole lot of black people in the 3 counties that I run around. There's not a whole lot.
No, not a whole lot.
The rednecks are the blacks, right? Okay. I've seen so many things growing up. Yeah, I came from a family of outlaws. Yes, and we have broke the rules. We sure have. But the law says when they cuff you, that's it. When they cuff you and put you in the car, that's the end of your detainment until they take you out and put you in jail.
Yep.
Okay. Several times they've cuffed my uncles and I and beat us in the head and everything like that. And they get mad because my uncle had snapped the cuffs. And he actually did it twice. He snapped the cuffs and beat the dog shit out of them. Okay. And then we get more trouble.
Yep.
You know, our family was known when the cops come talk to us, they came 4 or 5 deep.
Yeah.
Right? And I've seen this stuff, but we go tell them, oh, no, these are upstanding Christian men. They wouldn't do that. What? It took 5 cops to arrest me. I was 17 years old because I was hot rodding my 1969 Pontiac GTO around. I was hot running around. I was a kid with a fast car.
Yeah.
You know, trying to get some trim. Okay. So going around. They called me a worthless piece of shit. They said, oh, he got after me. He probably Negro. I said, well, no. I said, I'm part Native American. Oh, you're savage. Which calling a native savage is like the N-word to a black person.
Exactly.
You know, we can't stand that. You don't. I hate that when they call savages, right? And then he's, well, you're a king. Oh, so you're from a piece of trash family. Okay. I got out and they slapped me. I slapped him back. Next thing you know, we're in a big old fight. And I'm getting tasered with an old ass crank ass taser gun. They had the crank on there, right? Tased me up. I go to court and they lied and said they read me my rights. Well, they didn't. They didn't. I got all that because they never read me my damn rights, my Miranda rights, right? But I had half a town that followed me over there and told the judge. Judge said, no, that didn't happen like that, Judge. No, these guys slapped him. That's assault. And all of a sudden you had the mayor of the little bitty town of Jamesport, Missouri. I said, you know what? The judge's like, shit. So the judge had give me a big old speech about how I got lucky and blah, 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 and then bang. And we write this stuff down and nobody cared. We had cops come from other cities.
Yeah.
Out of their jurisdiction to come over. And other cops seen it happen. Now, my question to you is, you being a former law enforcement officer, if you seen that kind of behavior going on, would you step in? Would you stop it? What would you do?
I have stepped in and stopped it. Stopped it. I said, you can't do that. Don't you do it. Because if you do, I'm going to be cuffing you. And that's just as simple as it is. You know?
See, we need veterans. We need veterans like you, Commander, because the last time I was on the air with you, you was explaining about how y'all was trying to use a nightstick. And that was amazing to me because all I know since I was a kid that was called get in right. In right. Yeah. That's what it's, you know what I'm saying? And they would beat that with, you know, Rodney King was a prime example. That was his video, but I've been hit with him and stuff as a check.
Hey Dennis,
Denise, resisting arrest.
Denise, check your DM. Commander's needing to talk to you on your DM if you're still watching, Denise. Yeah, well, I get tased with an OAM radio.
I know. Yeah. That's why I was laughing out. Dean crazy. Him getting tased with an AMF or weather radio.
So what else? What do we do? I mean, we talked earlier on the Roy Anthony show at noon every Tuesday and Thursday. Catch him, guys. He got a lot of great content on there. He talks about stuff. Sometimes you don't want to hear it. Sometimes just. And by the way, before we go further, none of us on here are for defunding the police. We don't nobody come at us about we want to defund the police. We're not there. We're not at that point. And if you're upset by what we're talking about, then you're the person we're talking to.
Yeah.
Okay. If you didn't have nothing to do with this stuff, sit back, guys. Reap in the wind here because we're not talking about you. So I don't need to go home later on and have 5 phone calls and hate mail about how somebody's on here talking crap. That's not what we're doing. We're bringing it to your attention because some people live under a rock and don't know this, and some people don't care.
You know,
but
our criminal justice system, for what it's worth, okay, has its flaws. It really does. I mean, you know, if you look at the United States compared to the European, what you got there?
She didn't get the message from you.
Oh, okay, all righty. Well, I did it on my tablet, Denise. I'm sorry. So anyway, I should have done it on my phone. Okay, almost lost my train. Oh, but if you look at the United States off the other countries in the world, we're an infant. Okay. The United States is an infant, really, compared to the rest of the world. We're a new country. Honestly, you know, we may not have the most perfect, and we don't have the perfect criminal justice system, but it's better than no system at all. And, you know, and it does have its flaws. And I have seen other countries in Europe. I'm a Cold War veteran too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I've seen what goes on the other side of the Iron Curtain when we had that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Where you mess up, they just stand you up and shoot you. You know, you don't get a trial. You don't get nothing. At least there is some closure to some of the misfortunes that take place in this. But in all honesty, when people have been wrongfully incarcerated for whatever, how many X number of years, the first thing that should be done is they need to be taken out, given a home, get them set up, pay them what is due them for their pain and suffering, and help them get, because most of these people, they're institutionalized. They've been out of circulation for so long, they don't even know how to function in society anymore. That's what's right. And you talk about mental, you know, mental being knowing that you're locked up when you're innocent, but then coming out being institutionalized for 30, 40 years, you know, or less. I mean, how do you even start to readjust to function in your, from what the time you went in to the time you got out is totally different. It'd be like walking on a foreign planet somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's like the movie Shawshank Redemption. Now, if the movie is Hollywood, it was fake. Okay.
Right.
But that one scene in there was based on an actual account. That scene where the old man and the head of crow.
Yep.
And if you remember part of the movie, he said, I came in 1906. They brought him in by horse and buggy. When they let him out, shopping centers, had cars going around.
Yeah, he didn't know how to fit in.
They wrote him a check. He's like, what the hell's a check? You know,
Yeah,
he didn't know nothing like that. That's Hollywood, but that's the way it is.
That's the way it is sometimes.
Because he committed suicide because he didn't know how to fit in.
He couldn't fit in. He couldn't cope. Right. He was too institutionalized.
Right.
And if you take a lot of these guys that have been in for a long time and they didn't do anything wrong and then they turn them out, you'd be surprised how many of them will do something wrong just because they know that that's where they fit in.
Yeah.
They can function on the inside, you know?
Can I ask you a question, Commander? When you said you was over there in the Cold War and you said they executed right then, did they execute the wrong person? Or did it seem like they caught that person and said, you know, you wrong, pie out?
You know, I don't know, to be honest with you, because I was on the communist side and we were on the west side looking across, you know, so you don't know what's transpired over there or what's going on, but
it was probably whatever the government thought.
Whatever they thought, they just do it, you know.
Yeah,
and so, it's not good.
If you think about it, do you know that what you're saying, that like my neighbors say the same thing?
Yeah.
If the prisons make up the prison population, you know, it makes some people mad, but 80% of the prison populations is blacks and Latinos.
Yes, exactly.
And now they're going to prison for misdemeanors, but it seems like the same thing you just described, Cold War.
Cold War. Yeah.
But
I mean,
the government
you
to say, you just said the governor, the prosecutors had this evidence for 10 years. They held it. The governor of Missouri said, we ain't giving you nothing, even though we know that you was innocent in there for 43 years. It sounds to me like a dictatorship or communism. You know,
exactly.
I mean, if I'm wrong, I was going by what you said, and if I'm wrong, if I'm looking at it wrong, help me.
Yeah. No.
Well, no, that's not the way it is in other countries.
Yeah.
That's exactly. You hear a lot of people like, well, you know, if you don't like our country, you can go live over there.
Yeah.
I understand something about other countries, and I've been to a lot of them. So have you. There's countries that if you don't worship Jesus Christ, they kill you. If you don't worship Muhammad, they kill you. If you're a homosexual, they kill you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a different shade of dark, if you're black or kind of brown black, they kill one of you. Okay, the line breeding and line killing and all this stuff that goes on over in these other countries, it happens. Okay, there's whole countries that are atheists. You cannot believe in any type of religion. They kill you.
Yeah, but you've been in the military. Y'all seen it.
Yeah,
some of these, a large percentage of the police officers that be on the police force have not been in the military.
No, they haven't.
No, and they should.
And they don't treat their counterparts like the way the ones who haven't been over there.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. And so, but I kind of disagree with Commander with what you said a while ago. I don't think this system is a very good system at all. Right. Because when somebody has control over you, over what you do, and they preach to you that this is a fair country or free country, and you can do this, you can do that, if I say so.
Yeah.
You can do this, if I say so. That system is a terrible system. It really is, because that gives them the power to make up something against you, whether they don't like you because you're black, whether they don't like you because you're mixed race, whether they don't even like you because you're a white guy with blue eyes and you don't take baths and you're dirty or whatever they want to. The system to me is extremely broken, but we fought for this. We fought for this.
Right. Well, you know, I agree, and I respect that.
People have the opportunity because we fought for it. I don't like it, but they get to walk around with nooses.
I don't always.
They get to
like
walk
it
around
either,
with Confederate flags. They get to walk around with whatever flag they want to. I don't like a lot of nothing I can do. Some of it I fought for, but the system to me is just it's so gone. It's so broken.
It is broke. I mean, I'm not
more and more every day. Ask the Kenneth Stricklands, ask the bars, ask the guys, ask them how they like the system.
Yeah. And you got to realize that there's thousands of people all across the country that are wrongfully incarcerated. Railroaded is a good word for it. Railroaded. Railroaded.
Yeah.
That's a good word for it there, but still, all in all, it's better than the alternatives that I've seen in other places in the world.
But
you know what I'm
sometimes
saying?
when you go to court, they offer you this. They say, well, you know what, you go in like you're not guilty. It's happened to me. For example, I didn't steal a car. I know who stole the damn car. I didn't do it, right? So they arrest me and they say, well, if you take 3 months of probation, we won't throw you in jail. So they offer you a chance to plead to something you didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
They know you didn't do it. You know, that's wrong.
So do you feel that the person who did do it, no matter who they are, if you are a citizen of this country, you are supposed to be held liable as equal as anyone else, right?
Who does that?
No, I was just asking. Would we feel like?
Oh, okay.
Anybody?
Yeah.
So the governor of Louisiana needs to face accessory to murder charges just as well, right?
Yes.
He should be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't he?
If you tamper with, nobody is above the law.
Yes, sir.
Even a governor, if he tampers with evidence, withholds information that he knows could set a man free instead of being falsely accused, while the person who is guilty is walking the streets, he's no different than the one that actually did the crime. And he needs to be held accountable. They all need to be held accountable.
And you're right, but Commander, I just seen this. I did not know that anything that happens in the police field, like when you was working, And say, for instance, when you said the guy pulled the gun and you pulled your gun, if you had to shoot, the governor is notified of that immediately. This is what I found out. The governor is notified. Then, if this governor was found out in Louisiana for covering where these police killed them, now it makes me question: do the governor of Missouri knew that this brother was incarcerated wrongly, and they figured out how we're not going to pay him? It makes me feel like he knew that he was in there wrongly. But we got to figure out how to pay him.
Oh, he did. He did know, because at least a year before he got, so I've been following that Kevin Strickland thing when I found out he wasn't guilty. And I know at least a year, maybe more, at least a year, the governor knew about it. But the governor said there's nothing I can do because I'm waiting on the Missouri law that will let him out anyway. And this new law they got coming on that can make prosecutors take a look at their trial and their cases and everything, and if they're innocent, get them out. But I think it's horseshit. I think that's cockamamie crap. I think he could have let him out and then said, you know what? If you're going to try him, at least he's out. You want to bring him back to court, then bring him back to court. Or if you want to do this law, then do the law then. But at least he's out. Now I know the term they used was good for business. Good for business.
Good for business.
Think about that. Think about what he just said there. Good for business.
Well, it's like I said earlier, economics.
That's exactly economics. That's what Commander said. Economics. Wait a minute. You just had Dean up here. You had a quote by Dean saying, "How about Hillary? When we're gonna get her for tampering with evidence?" One of the things I'm gonna counter that, Dean. Hillary didn't become president. The former president just got found 15 boxes of evidence and top secret stuff at his home. I mean, that's the truth. Yeah. I understand that Richard Nixon went through Watergate for destroying tapes. If I'm not wrong, I wasn't aware when Richard Nixon was president.
The Watergate scandal.
Yeah, Tricky Dick.
Tricky Dick, we called him.
He was getting rid of some tapes, right?
Yeah. What Nixon did was he did a wiretap for a friend. One wiretap to try and get some information to help a friend out, and that blew wide out, and he wound up resigning or being impeacched, and so he resigned.
But they said somebody who was getting rid of tapes, and that's really what got him. And why I brought that up is because every day we make justifications for other people who's actually committing crimes.
Yeah.
You know why? You know why? Money. Money. Let me ask you. I always wanted to ask you this question. I keep forgetting, Roy. I want you to tell me the truth.
Yes.
Is O.J. Simpson guilty?
I'm gonna be like this. I'm gonna be honest. I felt that he had 2 or 3 people with him. There's no way someone with rheumatism is going to be able to kill a person who's a 3rd-degree black belt and a woman, not active and not the way he moves around. I've been studying Tashi since I was a kid. There's no way. And this man, the young guy, Goldman, he has stab wounds in his hands. That means he is trying to defend himself, but he also had marks where he was being held his mouth. Now, I don't know who can hold your mouth and stab you in the hand at the same time. No martial art. That means it was somebody else involved. Now, me personally took a drive from where Miss Nicole was supposed to be murdered to the OJ's house. I don't know how in the world you can get there in 15 minutes and wash blood off. I'm just being honest. I think that he's seen what happened, and I think he used the same henchman when he tried to do the robbery of the sports paraphernalia in Vegas. Because the facts, if the commander knows, if somebody's getting stabbed in their hand, that means they're defending the person in front of them.
Yep.
Yeah, I studied 6 martial arts, and it's called parry and knife defense, and that's one thing you do, open palm like that, so you can grab the wrist and pull to you. He had actually stab palms in his hands, that meaning that he can't move his hands the way he wants to because he's been held. Well, there's one piece of evidence. There's one piece of evidence that they showed me that did it for me.
Yeah.
I was on the fence. I'm thinking, man, OJ, that's a Orenthal, man. He's a Buffalo running back. Man, you get off my boy. But when he had that knuckle, a cut on that knuckle right there, and it lined right up with the door when he grabbed the door, and it was his blood.
Man, that was a setup. That's a setup. I'm gonna tell you something. If you ever seen a jugular vein cut? There is no way you can wash that amount of blood. A jugular vein, when it's cut, is spraying blood everywhere, bro. There is no way you can 15 minutes you can clean that up. Now you cut
every time that heart beats.
Dump that blood point. There's no way two people jugular vein cut and you ain't cut with blood but a drop of blood. How many times you done cut them deers?
Yeah.
And you got blood everywhere. Got blood everywhere.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
See, sometimes it's because of a personal vendetta that we look at.
Yeah, but wasn't me. I looked at it. I looked at it fairly when I judged him because I loved OJ.
Well,
man.
You know what I'm talking about? We talk about the media. What got me is that yes, that was a senseless murder, but it also overshadowed where 113 people was killed down there at the McMurray Federal Building by Timothy McVeigh by setting the bomb.
McVeigh, exactly.
We see to this day that OJ covers over all these people lost their lives and 54 babies in court.
It shouldn't. It does, but it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
It shouldn't, but we always do.
It does, man. Down in Oklahoma,
we made a movie about OJ. Why would we make a movie about OJ and not about the McMurray Federal Building?
They did. They got one. No, they got a movie about that. Timothy McVeigh. There's a movie about him.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that neither. We all know about that OJ movie, but we don't know about
I didn't know about Timothy McVeigh's movie.
Yeah, it's dumber than shit. And the other guy, Timothy McVeigh, the other guy that was involved in that, the dark hair guy with glasses. Yeah, they had him and they had his people. One of the things in the movie, like, well, he's got issues.
Issues.
Well, no shit. No shit. Yeah. You get a bomb, you blow up a federal building, kill people. Yeah, duh.
You get a truckload of anhydrous fertilizer and blow it up, level a building. You got a problem.
Whatever happened to his partner? It just wasn't him. What happened to his partner? It was a base of people. One person sacrificed for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, two of them got in trouble. I don't know what happened. One of them died, and I don't know what happened to them.
I think his partner died later on. I think. I don't know.
Who supplied the fertilizer? Well, my thing is I was looking at Dean. He said that he can wash blood off of him in 10 to 20 seconds. Over your whole body, Dean? Probably your hands. But not over your whole body.
Somebody said he had a suit on. Somebody said OJ had a suit on, by the way.
Like John Wick? What, he supposed to have a John Wick?
Yeah, John Wick suit. Yeah. Well, fancy ones, yeah.
15 minutes. I've seen, Commander. You've had
Timothy McVeigh.
Was it able to watch out?
Is dead.
Yeah, I know
Timothy McVeigh is dead.
Yeah, he got executed, right?
He died in 2001. I'm assuming he did. They had to because he was running his mouth and just being an idiot. So, well, I don't care about his last meal. I don't give a shit about his last meal. What the hell is this crap? Yeah, we'll figure that out some other time. But listen, Roy's got to get up out of here. He's got 1 minute. Roy, man, what an awesome conversation. What some awesome information that we gave out to everybody, some info that people can use. I guess what we're all here trying to tell everybody here at W Entertainment Network. If you see something that's not right, man, speak up. Gone are the days where they come to your house and threaten you. You be quiet. They come to my house, threaten me. They're living in the body bag. Hold up. Right is right, man. Come on. Right is right. Tell the facts. If you know that your prosecuting attorney and you guys are not doing well and there's nothing you really do, you got to vote. You got to vote. Vote them out. Vote them out. Yeah. And that's the best way to take care of it. Vote them guys out.
I also want to just throw out there for the men and women in blue that they know, all the good cops that are out there know that they've got bad ones.
Absolutely.
Within their own brother and sisterhood. Okay. And so to all the good law enforcement officers out there that are trying to do their civic duty and to look out for us and to be there to protect us, hats off to you. those of you that are not living up to it, do the honorable thing, resign. You know,
Is it me or did their system stop? It looked like they stopped for a second.
You know, what the hell? But Roy, anything else you want to say before you got to go, brother?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, you know what? I appreciate conversations like this. You know, it's obvious what that, and we should never be about race. I can have a conversation with y'all and we on the same subject. And Commander, I was laughing about Richie, not laughing at him, but I was laughing with him because he went through a situation with wearing an afro with 4 of his friends. And the police didn't de-escalate it. They escalated it on him. Now, my thing is this. I have a joke in my comedy before I get, I have a joke that if I was in a car accident, I need blood. I'm not going to look through no comatose eyes and figure out who's giving me blood.
Right.
I don't care. Commander, I can get some of your blood. I know the proper use of how to use a baton. Give me some of redneck blood and I'd be like, hey, Donna Doya Hoy. You know, the thing is that we don't have a conversation and talk about, because guess what? I don't blame you to protect over your family, your kids, your grandkids, your wife. That's what you're supposed to do.
That's right.
And I don't think it's just an American culture or any. I think that's humanity. Mess with some
humanity.
Animal. Yes, mess with some animal and their cubs. They'll show you what they feel like. Mess with a bear cub, see what they act like and stuff. So I think that when we had these conversations, and I love that Redneck has been emotional about this our judicial system, because if we do our judicial system correctly, then and if right now we can come on a common path of having a conversation, and y'all are all strong, all 3 of us are strong, but you know, y'all are strong, more money in y'all neighborhoods, and y'all can bring attention. Then if we can do that, that helps us to accomplish a lot of other things.
Yes, it does.
And instead of letting our Congress speak for us, let them be the politics, whatever. I'd rather have a conversation with y'all all day long and try to come to a common ground.
Yeah,
man, I got much love for you, Commander. I got much love for you, Richie King, man.
Got love for you too, brother. You know, and I just want to, before you cut and run, I just want to say, Morgan Freeman said it the best, and you all have probably heard it. He said the only way to stop race is to quit talking about it.
Don't get me, boy. Don't get me started.
Morgan Freeman said that, and I've never heard truer words ever spoken out of a human mouth than what Morgan Freeman said when he said that.
Yeah.
The only way you can stop the race is to quit talking about it.
Racism is it's a distraction in this country.
It is
brought upon you by someone else trying to hide something from you, so you don't see the truth.
Yep.
But sometimes
they don't want Roy and I. They don't want us talking.
Yeah. Matter of fact, one of us is going to end up going to prison for a long time, just to keep us separated.
Gotta keep them separated.
Y'all be having protests outside my cell. How long y'all gonna keep Roy in there? Hey man, love y'all, man. God bless you.
Take care, all right, brother. You take care, man.
Okay.
Take care, brother. Take care. Man, that's Roy Anthony.
Yeah.
I love that dude. He's
awesome.
He's awesome guy.
Love that guy.
He's welcome on here at any time. You catch Roy Anthony, guys, if you're interested in Roy Anthony, you catch him every Tuesday and Thursday at noon for an hour on there. He's got the Big Hank on his Kodo and Miss Uniqueness. They have interesting topics all the time. So there you go. Sorry, let's get back into what we got to do here.
Okay.
Rock and roll. Right, this is the last day of What Is It? Okay, because I was out last week with COVID, and so we didn't have a show. So
it's
this
disgusting. I don't know what it is. It looks disgusting.
All right, next week I'll give you a brand new one. Here is what it is. Do you have any guess at all what this is?
Don't have a clue.
It's a red-headed duck.
A red-headed duck.
Yeah, red-headed duck. That's what it is right there. It's a red-headed duck. There,
What
right
part
there.
of the red-headed
The beak.
duck? The beak?
The beak right there.
Oh, the beak. Oh, the nostril.
See it?
Yeah, I see it
Yeah,
now.
there it is. That's what it was.
Oh, good gravy.
The next week we'll have another one. Start all over again. Anyone,
Okay.
whoever gets this, what is it? Is 100 entries into the mystery box.
Mm-hmm.
Flat out, pure and simple. There ain't no 10 in this, 10 that. It's 100 entries right away. Okay. So, all right, let's go. Let's get into our normal, regularly scheduled bull crap here. Where we at? You don't say. Now, Nicolas Cage there. He always has something he wants to put out here. So we're going to go down here, and we're going to do some things here. First, don't say. When I was a kid, there were 2 ways to die: natural causes and back talking your parents.
Yeah, that's
You don't say. You don't say. All right. Now we're going to go to a movie clip of You Don't Say. Here we go.
After a long night of drinking White Claw, Kyle's on his way home with some takeout, and Karen comes out of nowhere and gets knocked the hell out with his kung fu skills. My God, let's take a look at the replay. You can see right here the agility, the skill this man has. Never even dropped his beer once, taking a sip. Karen coming in looking for equal rights, but instead she gets served up an equal leftover of food with a dome. And my God, you can see her drop to the canvas. He never drops his beer, not faded. The only casualty here tonight is the food itself. Rest in peace, chicken wings.
That's not right. You stop laughing about that. That ain't funny. You quit that.
Do it again. Do it again.
All right. Oh, this one right here. I got to set this up for you. This is what happens, or what still should be happening in this country when your son or your daughter get out of line. This is what mothers ought to do right here.
Do it again.
Watch.
What are you talking about? Get your ass up here. Get your ass hanging all out. Get your ass down out here. Get.
His shoes.
Beat him till he left his shoes. He left so fast.
Oh, my God. That was
You don't let that out.
Oh, wonderful.
Hey, hey, hey! It's the huge bitch.
Oh man. Now it's time for say what? Say
Love
what?
that kid's face.
That kid's face is priceless.
It's great.
Yes, it is. I don't think that's what they mean when you
Well-
pack the wood stove.
That's boy, that puts a whole new definition to Longwood furnace.
Yes, it does. And you know they got some sort of intelligence, I guess, because I don't know. You can't tell it all. I mean, there's a TV. There were cartoons on. I mean,
It's
okay.
Looney Tune time.
Yeah, that's damn sure Looney Tunes time.
Mm.
Let's here's another say what. This is what all dads do. Right here. 90% of a job as a dad is to stare at your kids like this until they act right. All right. We got a few video ones here. Oh, you're gonna like this one here. Damn.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Yeah, to the no. Hell to the no.
I don't know if you're. I'm a tough guy and all, but I ain't fucking stupid, man. Oh, okay. And another. Say what?
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Emotion.
All right. And have you ever had a 4-inch piece of round pipe stuck, and you ever wonder how to get it out?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here at W Entertainment, we got the perfect solution how to get this out.
It's going to be cured right here.
Right here. There you go.
So, Benny, how we doing?
We made about 200.
200?
Crazy ass. Thank you over the comments. All right. That were some of your. Somebody had a successful hog hunt. Be at least bullshit. Be a lot less bullshit in this world. Have a pistol and a bear to shoot. Somebody had us. That's overkill. What we got here? That's true. That's right. Most of these cobras are venomods. They had their fangs and venom sacs removed. Well, that'd have to be before I got my ass in there, because
that took all the fun out of it.
Yeah, that's how he is. He wants to just kill us. See how Dean is, just ruin it for us. Yeah. When you tell your kids to load wood stove for 3 days, that's right. They got her in there. Proud of them boys. Them boys did good. All right. Trivia time, guys. Get your trivia ready. Get your fingers ready. Here we go. Trivia question. This famous boxer had a son who played and coached in the NFL. Who is it? This famous boxer had a son who played in the NFL and coached. Who is it? Who was it? Who is it? We're waiting on that. Okay. We're going to do some we're going to do a little comedy for everybody here. I got to go here. Oh, this thing is acting slow, and it's starting to drive me nuts.
When your legs don't work like they used to before.
We got to. Oh, we have a winner already. Ding, 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 ding. Kenneth Howard Norton Jr. That is correct. Ken Norton's son played ball. Denise Maddox gets 10 entries into the mystery box.
Yay.
If she wins, I can walk right upstairs to her.
Yeah, there you go. Save on posting. Oh.
Yeah. She gets 10. All right, Denise, good job on that.
Yeah.
Man,
awesome.
that was quick. Wasn't a very hard one, I guess. I thought it'd take a little longer. Because Denise is she's very smart anyway. She's not an idiot. Let me see. Right here. That's a whole lot.
I'm not saying a word.
That's a whole lot of somebody's got a lot of time on their hands. But I'm
not going to say a word.
I would join in on something like that.
Eat it. I could drop my ice cream in a pile of shit and eat it. I mean, it's just sprinkles, like sprinkles. Don't let your mother catch you doing that nasty shit, though. My mother caught me doing that. She make put it down one sentence. Put that back on the floor. And you drop that shit quick. Say, I wouldn't go eat it. My mother caught me doing that. Anybody got them mothers that would hit you with a shoe? I had a mother that would throw a shoe at you at the drop of a dime and fuck you up wherever she was aiming. It was bad with her shoe. She would like carry that shit like a gun. By the time I was like 10, my mother was like Clint Eastwood with a shoe. And you fuck up, my mother walk in the room was like.
Why'd you eat the ice cream off the floor?
I didn't know I was going Bad. Accurate. You be in a supermarket and shit and be grabbing cereal off the counter going, Ma, can we get this? She'll say, I guess not. And can be doing 3 different things. Be on the phone with my grandmother and be cooking with this hand, have the phone like this and be saying, yeah, mama, hold on a second. Bad. Fuck you up. And God forbid my mother be dressed up and have them high-heel Jimsons on, them pumps, because then she get boomerang action going on your ass. And fuck you up in the room, you won't even know what the fuck happened. They can hear you when they're getting ready to walk out the door, they hear you on the bunk beds fucking around. They got that mother hearing, they hear that shit. They say, wait a minute, baby. Let's go.
Tell me he ain't just one of the best comedians on the planet, man.
He was great.
He was great. It's too bad. It's too bad. Let's see if we can't find the king. You want to hear the king?
I went to penitentiary. Gene Wilder, I did a movie. I went to, not me personally. I mean, I went to do a film in penitentiary. And I was up there 6 weeks, Arizona State Penitentiary. It was some, oh, you applauding for that? Arizona State Penitentiary, real popular. Oh man, it was strange because it's like 80% black people. And what's strange about that is that there are no black people in Arizona. I'm not lying, they bust motherfuckers in. And I was up there and I looked at all the brothers and it made my heart ache. You know, it's all these beautiful black men in the joint. God damn, warriors should be out there helping the masses. And I felt that way. I was real naive, right? In 6 weeks I was up there, I talked to the brothers, you know, and I talked to them. And thank God we got penitentiaries. I asked the dude, I said, why did you kill everybody in the house? He guessed it, they was home. I mean, murderers. Do you hear me? Real live murderers. I thought black people killed people by accident. No, these motherfuckers was murderers. I met one brother, his name was J-Bo. Motherfucker lift weights, he was in charge of it. J-Bo, muscles every motherfucker. Where's my man, muscle? He was doing a sentence, triple life. How in the fuck do you do triple life? I mean, if he die and come back, he got to go to penitentiary. Right? They say, fuck kindergarten, get your little ass back in the penitentiary, motherfucker. You know what you did last time you was here. Gene Wilder loved to jump in the middle of the killers and start talking, hi guys, how you doing? I said, Gene, bring your ass out. What do you think they do to us if we were here, Rich? You say, fuck us. And Gene said, I'm not homosexual. Homosexual ain't got nothing to do with it. They don't fuck you because you like it. They just fuck you just to see that look on your face. I met one dude kidnap, murder 4 times. And I thought 3 times that was your ass, right? No. I said, what happened? I can't get your shit right. But I'm getting paroled in 2 years, Brother Rich. I'm gonna fire up, you know. I got some contracts outside, you know what I mean? Let's see, yeah, I know what you mean. See, I wanna know when this motherfucker getting out, who he gonna be with, and if I see him in my neighborhood, I'm just gonna shoot the motherfucker.
I see my neighborhood. I'm going to shoot the motherfucker. Here's a. You ever heard? I know you've heard the term irony, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I want you guys to take a good look at this irony picture. All right. Tip it over getting popped and doesn't look like he needed any pop. Clean up in aisle 3. Clean up in aisle. That's typo. Too bad. Oh, that's not good. Not good. Roy Anthony. I found a secret picture of Roy Anthony. Y'all can tell him if you want to tell him. It's up to y'all. Jeez, man.
That's great.
Yeah. Guys, March 26th.
Yes, sir.
An American Legion, Post 33 in Cameron, Missouri. The commander here is going to be a guest judge. Roy Anthony is going to be a guest judge. Right now, we have David Scott, returning champion, coming back to perform for you all again. We also have Petty Murphy, great friend of W Entertainment. Don't know if you ever met him. Great friend of W Entertainment. He's coming back to perform, or coming to take part in the contest. Last comic standing. It's 2 rounds competition. And we'll have they win the trophy and half the pot. The other half goes to help out W Entertainment. So that's what's going on. That's a beautiful flyer.
Oh yeah, that's nice. I like that.
Our executive producer, Blue Phoenix, shout out to her. Thank you very much, Jennifer.
Yeah,
she made
Jennifer. Good job.
Took her 1-2 times maybe. The only problem we had was me, because I forget things like what it is. And next week, gentlemen, we have Pete Barlow, military extraordinary artist. The man can draw almost anything. He's going to be on the show with us next week. Pete Barlow, author, illustrator. They call him G.I. Lowe. That's the magazine he writes for, G.I. Lowe. You might be familiar with G.I. Lowe. You might have heard of G.I. Lowe. He's going to be on next week. Going to talk about art. Going to talk about everything he does, and just finally get to meet him. I've met him online a couple times, but never got to see his face. And he's part of the Oregon. I met him through the boys out at Oregon. So he's going to be on next week, and he's going to be getting after with us. Scooter just said, "Fuck off me." Fuck off me. What the hell's wrong with you? Did you pick your nose? No, was I supposed to? What she's talking about. All right. So I'll get a couple more memes here real quick. What do you have that's a non-fat, no sugar napkins?
Just fiber.
Yeah, don't worry about it. She said, "Yeah, I did." Huh? Look at my nose. Here you go. I've been putting this off showing it. I didn't want to offend nobody, but I got to show this thing. If you had memes in the 80s, whack on, whack off.
That's wrong.
True. Oh, that's terrible.
Oh,
that's wrong. If you ever had the opportunity to live next to a neighbor and you got a neighbor that's tight, real good, you guys don't want to get out because of COVID and everything like that, but you still got to drink your beer together or play your cards, something. Here you go.
Now that's a novel idea.
It is.
Yeah, I like that.
When I uploaded this thing, I started that about 6 times. I was like, you know what? That'd be cool. I don't need. I live deep in the country, but my friend in town, he might, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We'll go right in the comments real quick. All right. Well, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.
Boys and girls of all ages.
We appreciate y'all stopping in with us and had a great conversation today. And that's what we need. We need more conversations in this country about things. Whatever. We just need them. And We need to continue doing them. That's how we're going to get things done in this country. We talk about them, get them done, and handle them like that.
A game of whack fuck here. Whack.
Somebody shorted out the microwave, which how much power they have to shove that stove and knock both the guys down. They ran on adrenaline. That was adrenaline. One of them was hurt. I guarantee.
Banked on that. Yeah.
How would you explain that to the fire department? Good thing they had that on video.
Yeah.
Okay. Firemen be like, what? We're not gonna. Come here.
Watch this.
Right there. Yeah.
Boom.
If I was a fire chief, I'd be like, hold on, rerun that. Again. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for tuning in today.
Yes.
We had a great time. Dean
That was
Cerny.
wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you, Dean. Dean, brother, you always on all the shows around. We appreciate you very much being on, having a good discussion. You bring us some outstanding points. Thank you. Denise Maddox.
Yes.
Thank you for coming in on it and joining in. Crystal Marie, Julie, I think you guys came in and went back out. We appreciate it so much, you guys taking care of it. There's a comment here I want to read earlier that Dean put on here. I never got to it. I wanted to come back to it right here. Dean said, I got accused of telecommunications harassment back in the day. I was in the base club with new friends after work. The sheriff showed up and accused me of making making threatening phone calls. All of us were like, what the F was at the bar? How? Had to go to court with the pub defender. He tried to get me to take a plea deal, which I was talking to you earlier, take a plea deal. And I was like, no, I don't do that. Plead not guilty. The people that accused me of doing it didn't even show up to court. Judge threw it out of court.
Yep, there you go.
Well, I think that's a trick that the prosecutor uses, and that's something
they do it every time.
They do that. They know that's going to happen. They know that no one's going to show up.
They want to make you think that they've got some goods on you, that they can't have anything.
Right. Right.
But they try to snowball.
Well, yeah, they try to intimidate you and scare you, so people go ahead and take the thing. They've tried to get me several times. I'll tell you another trick you can ever use too. Always get SIS probation. Okay. Always get SIS, suspended in position of sentence. You do your probation, it comes off your file, and it never existed. Okay. They can go to court, and judge say, you ever been convicted of a crime? No, I have not. Mr. King, you ever been convicted of a crime? No. Okay. I go look at my file. Oh, how are you not a felon? Mind your business. But anything you want to add?
No,
Mr.
Not a thing. Just enjoyed the program tonight, and Roy, and a lot of good conversation there, and it's just it's good to be able to just get together and just express our feelings and talk about subjects like this and bring awareness to it. Right. We all know what goes on, but you just don't know, sometimes it gets a little closer to home. Sometimes we know people who've been affected this way. I know I do. I know a couple people that have been falsely accused, and it's just,
it's hard to see your friends or something.
It's hard to see your friends or family that gets falsely accused of something.
Yeah.
It really is.
But he said his penalty was a year in jail and $5,000 fine. Yeah, he ain't pleading this shit. That never left your record either. They've been trying to hornswoggle over your ass.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it. Guys, I got some merch for sale. I got some of these fine t-shirts. I got orange and I got black. 22 a day. That's what we're trying to stop, the 22 a day.
Yes.
So I'll be putting some on my Redneck Pimp site. Go to Redneck Pimp Club, my page, Redneck Pimp. And I've got hats. I've got shirts. I've got We the People Are Pissed Off hats. I got some with Trump, Donald Trump, something. I got some about that, Women for Trump, something like that. I think I got some t-shirts called Mountain Your Mama. There's a joke behind it. It's one of my signature jokes I got. So I have merch. I got dog tags. I got comedy vets things. You guys want any of that stuff? Hit me up for it, and I'll give you what it costs price wise, and then I'll ship it to you. Shot glasses, you all know I carry the shot glasses and stuff. Anyway, so if you want any of that, I'm going to put that on my website, or go to comedyvets.com. You'll see a lot of it on there as well. But like I said, it's on my webpage if you can filter through all that crap and my normal one. But anyway, Redneck Pimp, That's what's going to be on. So go check out that page. Give it a like. Give it a like to this page, guys.
Yes.
Give it a like and share. We've been hovering around 2,000. We got way all over 2,000 follows, but we can't seem to break that 2,000 like mark. Yeah. For some reason, we go up and come down, up and down, up and down. So if you guys get on there, check it. Make sure it still says you like the page. Like it. Follow us. So we can take care of get that up over and quit worrying about that. That's something we're concerned with here at the network. Doing that. If anything, like I said, go check that stuff out and get the merch. We appreciate you all very much. None of you are worthless. Don't ever think you're worthless. You're not.
You're valuable. All of you. All of you. Valuable.
Unless you're Chester, then if you're a child molester, then whatever. Right. But if you're out there and you think I'm worthless, the world would be better off without me, that's wrong. You're wrong because the pain and the suffering you'll cause others because of your absence. It's unbearable sometimes. I've seen it. You've seen it. I've seen it too much.
Yep.
I've seen it
way too much.
And our teens, 12 teens a day commit suicide. 12 teens. You got so much life ahead of you.
Yeah.
So much life ahead of you.
Haven't even started to live yet.
No, we have. We got comedy shows coming up. Come out, shake the commander's hand. Hey, if he's got time, he'll visit with you. Come on out there. If you guys want to join the American Legion, how do they do that?
They'll just get a hold of me, and we'll get you signed up and get you coming to the meetings. And there's a lot of things going on, a lot of activities coming up that we get involved in. We have the Veteran Scar Show coming up again this July, so we want to. If we have some more guys to come on board to help out, be great. There's a lot of other things in the community, scholarship funds that we do and fundraisers for that, and flag routes, put flags out 12 times a year on our routes and stuff. Just love to have you come on board and be a part of a good team. And it's good therapy.
What day in July?
I don't even know what the 4th of July is falling on.
But it is the 4th of July. Okay.
Yeah, 4th of July.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, that'd be, I got a gig on 2nd, which would be probably Saturday. Yeah. So it'll be the 4th of July on a Monday.
On a Monday.
I believe that's correct. But anyway, so that's where we're at, guys. Yeah. What we got going on there. We're going to cut her a little short today because we're out of information. That's what we're out of information. But we got all. We did our comedy. We did our you don't say and you say what's and stuff. Been a good time so far. I'm giving well over COVID. For those of you who monitor me, I'm about 90%. I'm not 100% yet. But I got a lot of advice for some people that had it. Tell me what to do, what not to do, what to look for, and things like that. My wife, she's still fighting with it, although it's not as bad. She's about 70%. Shout out to my dad and his wife, though. They're about 50%. They've had this and been battling it, and he's not letting it get in his lungs, though. That's a good thing. It's not his lungs.
Yeah,
he's
praise the Lord for that. Yeah,
that's real good. But we'll try to have him on sometime when he comes back down. Denise Maddox, she said it.
She's awesome.
It's Saturday the 2nd. Yeah,
Saturday the 2nd. Thank you, Denise.
Dang it! I was gonna come work there, but I got a gig that day. Dang, I'm gonna be with Jeff Honix doing a gig. Anyway, well, guys, this is about all we have, man. Just remember, you're not worthless. You guys, 22 a day. We need to stop that.
Yes,
we do.
Yes. We want 0 a day.
I would rather spend 3 hours hanging out with you, fishing with you, teaching you comedy, teaching you martial arts, anything, than sit 30 minutes at your UG.
Yep.
Okay, that's bad. On behalf of the entire W Entertainment Network, on behalf of W Radio Show. On behalf of the commander here, I'm Richie Redneck Pimp King. Thank you all very much for coming out. Donut Dog Ahoy. You take care of yourselves. May the great spirit bless you and keep you and his face shine upon you. I'll see you next week.
Okay.
Have a good day.